The 5 keys to confidence that all athletes need to lock into their daily routine to make sure that they always play every game and practice with confidence. You are listening to the Bridging Impact Podcast, transforming leaders on and off the court with host Coach Furtado. Without further ado, let's dive in. What's up, everyone? I am Coach Furtado. This is Coach's Corner on the Bridging Impact Podcast Network. And on Fridays, the Coach's Corner edition, I share the wisdom I am learning as a coach, as a podcaster, as a creator, as a business owner. And talking about confidence is incredibly important because when we talk about leadership and transforming athletes, whether you're an athlete or you're a coach, into leaders, we have to be able to lead ourselves first. And we can't lead ourselves without self-awareness. And with self-awareness comes confidence. Because if I don't know myself, then therefore I am not going to be confident in my abilities to make an impact. So diving right into that, right? When it comes to building confidence, you cannot build confidence without preparation. So the number one key to building confidence is preparation, in my opinion. And this is what is most sought after in the media, right? Everyone talks about, oh, you got to work so hard, which is incredibly true, right? But it's about what you work on. I'm not going to be, if I'm a basketball player, I'm not going to be a confident shooter if I'm always working on my finishing moves. I'm preparing myself to finish around the rim, but I'm not preparing myself to shoot, okay? When it comes to preparation, it's not only skill development. It's when do I use the skill? Shot selection. So if I'm a basketball player and I'm shooting crazy shots, right? I've been working on my game, but I'm taking bad shots. Well, guess what? Coach isn't going to play you because you're not prepared. You don't understand what a good shot is. That is part of preparation. You have to know the game. What type of defense are they in? All right. What type of offense should we run based on the type of defense they are in? Are they pressing us? Are they giving us a lot of pressure? Or are they playing back? What is the way that you will react if they do this? So understanding the mental side of the game is so incredibly important. Going through before the game, what happens mentally if you miss, right? Are you going to just slump your shoulders and let that first miss of the game affect your whole routine or whole gameplay the rest of the time? Or are you going to have something where you see it, you see a mistake, and you see yourself responding? That is incredibly important to how you prepare for a game. It's not just about shooting around. It's about mentally preparing for the game. Tactically, right? Strategy-wise. Also mentally, how are you going to respond to mistakes? How are you going to bring energy and intensity and bring that flow state? All right. Number 2 is past performance. All right. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you're seeing that I'm kind of drawing a line up and down, right? And if you're just listening to this on the podcast, all right, oftentimes our play is going to go up and down, right? No one except for maybe the elite top 1% of 1% of athletes are always going to ball out. We're going to have games, whether you're playing baseball, you have games where you strike out 2 to 3 times. Or if you're in basketball, you're going to shoot and you're going to go 1 of 10 or 0 of 7 from deep or from, whatever it is. You're going to have bad games. And you're also going to have great games where you shoot 4 of 6 from 3, where you go 3 for 4 in baseball, where you score a goal in soccer, or whichever it is. You're going to have, your performance is going to go up and down. And what often happens is obviously our confidence goes up when we play well. Of course, right? However, what is most important, and I want to share a story from David Nurse. He is an MBA mental skills trainer with Norm Powell. Norm Powell is actually one of the better scorers in this league. He has a really important role of coming off the bench, and he's a very underrated player. Well, Norm went through this cycle, these couple of weeks where he was really struggling. And what David Nurse had him do, Nurse had him take back into time. All right, he's like, close your eyes, Norm. He's like, imagine yourself, go back to high school, right? And I can't remember what the high school was, but just see yourself balling out, right? See it. And the important part of past performance is if you want to perform better, it's important to go back in your mind to see, right? See yourself making those plays. See yourself, right? Hitting those shots, all right? And after Norm practiced that for a couple weeks, he noticed his confidence starting to rise. Even though he wasn't playing high school competition anymore, he was still playing NBA guys, but he remembered what it felt like, right? It's a feeling when you're in the flow zone and you're getting buckets, right? Because when you can bring your brain to those moments, you're actually creating proteins, right? When you really visualize, your brain doesn't know the difference between visualization and reality when you get really good. And it's so important to be able to visualize. So if you have a bad game, go back, see yourself succeeding in prior experiences, and then also use those experiences that when you didn't play well, when you had a bad 0 for 7, 1 for 7 game, you should always reflect. What did I not do well this game? What did I actually do well this game? And what do I need to improve on to play better and prepare better for the next game? So, number 3, self-talk. And this has been a very popular one in the media the last couple of years. Everyone talks about positive self-talk, and I think positive self-talk is great. But I want to change the word to productive self-talk. I think positive self-talk can get kind of thrown into this Pollyanna, like everything's okay. I like to think about it as productive self-talk. All right, if I make a shot, right, I'm gonna feel more confident, right? I'm gonna probably shoot the next one. But what happens a lot of times is I shoot, I miss, and then someone says, I'm gonna probably miss the next one, right? Or they have this subconscious thoughts where they don't believe they're gonna make the next one. That is not a productive thought. If you think you are going to miss the next shot, or if you think you're going to turn the ball over or you're going to strike out, it's probably going to happen because you're creating proteins and firing brain signals, all right, that are saying, yes, that's going to happen, right? You're starting to associate with that. So when we have productive self-talk, right, after we miss, 2 clap, I got next, right? All right, or we use power statements, right? You have to earn these power statements. I can't just say I'm a great chef because I just throw in Trader Joe's frozen food into the air fryer. All right? You really have to earn it. However, if you put in the time, you put in the practice time, having these statements like if you miss 2 or 3 shots in a row, I am a great shooter, right? And so you start to believe that, when you're saying things, your brain, then your thoughts become your behaviors, and your behaviors become your actions, all right? And I might have messed that up a little bit, but your thoughts dictate the outcomes, right? Your thoughts dictate the outcomes. All right, number 4 is body language. So right here, all right, if you're listening to the podcast, you're hearing me talk a little bit quieter, even though I'm closer to the microphone, but my shoulders are ducked lower, and I'm not looking at the screen because I don't have good body language. That's why I want to get my shoulders back, all right, eyes, and giving my eyes to my teammates, to my coaches, all right, showing that confidence, all right, speaking from the belly, all right. It's not about you when you're making a mistake, right? And I think that's the biggest challenge is, body language when you come out of a game or, when you strike out. Your body language affects the whole entire team, right? So if you're going to have bad body language, you're going to come to the bench, you're going to pout, you're not going to cheer for your teammates. Number 1, the coach is probably not going to put you back in. But number 2, you're not helping yourself, right? If you are, kind of portraying body language that shows confidence, and I encourage you to watch people on a screen, right? When they go to the free throw line, what do they look like? Do they look like they're going to knock that free throw down with confidence? And it's even, I think baseball is one of the easiest one to tell because you're able to see their face, and coming up to bat, you're like walking up to hit. You can kind of see when someone's walking up, that's a great hitter, with a little bit of swagger, all right, with some confidence, all right? And you can see people who are nervous, especially at the high school level or different levels. Like you can see people's facial expressions like, oh no, right? I'm coming in at this spot. So how you portray yourself, like coming up, Like, you don't want to be overconfident and like invite, extra motivation from the other team, but just come in with a little bit of confidence. All right, get a little bit of rhythm, bouncing on your feet. Your body language is going to dramatically affect, all right, how you play. And then the last little bit of confidence is a support system. So if you're an underestimated hooper, we have a community for you that you should go look at the link in the bio here. Other than that, making sure that you have some friends, teammates, parents, all right? Creating that support system. And if you're a coach or a parent that's listening to this, making sure that you create a support system for your athletes, because we're going to have bad games, right? And so as our support system, and if you are a support system, remind them of the games that they do play well, right? Because we have recency bias. So if we don't play well, we're going to think we're not playing, we're going to think we're less than. All right. If we play well, we're going to be up there. And then as a support system, it may be also important to remind them, right, of how they got there, the effort that they got there, right? And to keep playing with flow and just recognize that each game is a different game. So the support system is really important, and I just recommend that to the fullest ability. It takes a team to create one person's success, and I really do believe that. That's why you gotta subscribe to Coach's Corner, give us a follow. I got a great team of people who come on the podcast every Wednesday who are way smarter than me, drop so much good wisdom on how athletes can maximize their experience. I have strength and conditioning. We got leadership. We got skills development. It's one of the best podcasts I feel like out there for athletes to become leaders, and I believe leaders are what make an impact in the world later on in life. So thank you all for listening to this show. I hope you have a wonderful time. Share it with a friend if you got something out of it. Coach Furtado out.